Okay, let's try some conversational. So I have these pins that come off a tree branch shredder thing that I've damaged. One's missing, all three others are bent. So what I'm going to do is try some conversational to modify, to create new parts. I'm going to go to MDI, sorry, not MDI, I'm going to go to CAM. I'm going to say File, New, File Name. I'm just going to call it Shaft. Enter. Programmer name, program description, programmer name, press enter, description, shaft, press enter. Stock diameter, I need to check what stock I have, but let's assume I can find stock of 25 mil. I will come back to this later. Stock length, we can see from this part, it's at least about 80 mil, so we will put in 100 there, and it's in chucked. And the Z coordinate 0 means that when I set the offset for this, I'm going to start with this with my 0 face. Accept. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to do now I need to remember a turn operation. We're going to start at a diameter, let's assume we're going to start at 25. We're going to end at, okay, so this is now where we start measuring the actual shaft. So this shaft is measuring 12.3. So I'm going to assume that this might be a 1/2 inch shaft, just because of it being 12.3. Okay, so you know what, let's not confuse ourselves. Let's stay in millimeters. And 12.5, so 12.5. So starting at, so what I'm doing here is my first cut starts there, and I want to simply turn down to this diameter, and that is going to be this length minus that little end bit. Now this shaft is damaged, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see, I don't think the length makes a difference if it's a millimeter or two too long, rather too long than too short. I'm going to make that 72 long, ending at, it starts at 0, careful, because if you put the starting at the wrong end, it'll actually cut backwards, which might be fine depending on what you're trying to do. So ending at minus 72. Taper amount, we're not doing taper. The roughing tool I will be using is tool 1. So feed mode, so feed per minute, feed per revolution. So I'm going to do feed per minute, because it's steel and I want to take it easy. I'm going to just do 100 at the start, and I can override the settings. Constant surface speed is not a bad thing, but I'm going to just put it into RPM. I'm going to put it at 1500 RPM. And then a finish tool amount. We don't really care too much about the surface finish, but we can do the final cut at, let's say, 75. And we will do spin mode there, RPM. So let's go up to 2000 there. And that should be fine, except depth of cut. Now it'll give us a warning because we didn't set a depth of cut. I'm cutting into steel, not aluminium, so I'm going to be careful. I'll do 0.5 cuts, there's no rush, except now if you go to escape there and you press post, unless there's an issue, it'll tell you the code is fine. Now graph job will show me exactly what it's going to do. So you can see, and the reason it's showing it slowly is because I've actually got rapid and feed rate overridden from some earlier testing I've done. There you go, starts there. We'll do these. So what we've now done is we've done that. Now what I didn't do is I didn't do a facing operation. So let's go back to CAM. Now what I can do is I can just insert a turn, and I can just go click there and go end face. Starting diameter 25. Ending diameter 0. Starting there. And what we can do is I'm just going to do 0, 0. So I'm going to do the part offset to basically just take the edge of the tool off. I'm going to do tool 1, 1, feed mode, do 50 there and do 2000 there. Depth of cut, okay. So let's do a 0.1 there. Now, let me do 0.1 there, because I think the Conversational will dislike that if I don't. So now we've got facing, then turning. So what we can do is we can go back, accept that, post that, and let's just see if that is the same under graph job. So we go back to cam, we do the facing operation, I need to modify that. Okay, go back to facing, modify, so you can see the facing is that red line, and then it'll do the rest. What I can now do is I can do cam. Now what we want to do is we want to do that little nip at the end, which according to this, and again this distance isn't critical, is about 4 millimeters. So we're going to do a turning up after the last one. So we'll insert, turn, diameter turn, starting diameter. I'm going to, so the stock diameter, if you remember, is 25, and I want to end at, this looks like about 16. So I'm going to put, I'll put 17 here, because the diameter actually doesn't really matter. What it is the shaft that the stub just holds on the far side of the, now if you remember correctly, we went to 72, so I need to start at 72 and I need to end about 3.5 mil later. So I'll start at neg 72 and I will end at neg 73, 75.5. No taper, roughing tool, I'm going to use exactly the same settings as before. Accept. Depth of cut must be better than that. So again 0.5, do that, accept. Go back, post. And if everything's right, we should now see a part that resembles this craft job. And there we have it. So you can see the shape there, the shape there, the shape there. And that is Conversational, easy done, quicker than doing it on CAM software. I will do the parting a bit later. Actually, let me show you how to do it. I just need to work out if I have a parting tool set up in the machine. I do, and it is tool 7. So go escape from that. CAM. So when we've done all of that parting, we're going to do insert, now cut off, if I remember correctly. That's right. So we're going to pack increment is how far to go in. If you ever get stuck, you can just press help and it shows you a visual of what you're trying to do. So pack increment, the Z position. Now I need to be very careful here, because the 0 of the parting blade is on that side, but I want to cut that side. So you need to add the width of the parting blade. So we went minus 75.5. So here we need to do minus 78.5. Now before the program runs, I will make sure that we have got that validated. 25 in diameter 0. I'm going to pack, I'm actually going to pack a little bit deeper than that, otherwise it's going to take long. Square, if you wanted to have a small corner finish, you can change that. So I'm going to use tool 0707, and my feed rate here will be 40. I want to keep it quite low. Speed probably about 1000. Press enter, accept. Back, post, and if we look at the graph now, we can see the face, we can see taking down that part, we take that, and then we see the parting operation. So that's it modeled. if everything's right on the machine, and assuming your measurements are correct as in you've calibrated the machine, that should give you a part like that. Of course, I need to check what stock I have, but if it's not 25, I'll go and edit the code quickly. But it's as simple as that to do some conversational. Thank you.